Dr. Leo Boisvert. This is my wife, Sheila. And today we're going to talk to you about one of my absolute favorite therapies, whole body vibration.
So is the importance of, I know we do this every morning. Dr. Leo and I, we each have our own whole body vibration plates, which we'll make sure that we attach here in the notes. But let's talk about muscle activation. I know that when I step off of that machine, first of all, I can see the muscle activation on my legs. But talk to us about, how does whole body vibration actually, what's the activation there?
Yeah, the activation is that it forces muscles to contract. I mean, it's an amazing device. We discovered it in 2015. Everything I read about it in the literature and every place I looked was positive outcomes, positive. But the main thing it does, it forces muscular contraction. And of course, a muscle's doing one of two things. It's either relaxed or it's contracting. So it's a rapid muscular activation. Relaxation followed by contraction, followed by relaxation, followed by contraction. And that is really the mechanism that drives so many of the benefits of whole body vibration, including caloric use. I mean, it is burning calories. You can't, it may be, criticized by some for being a passive therapy. Nevertheless, you're burning calories while you're standing there.
But you don't want it to take the place of actually going for a walk. It's not to replace exercise. You don't want it to replace exercise.
No, but we start our day with it. I mean, I walk all over my clinic all day, every day, up and down stairs and in and out of patient treatment rooms. But I start the day with 10 minutes of whole body vibration for just to make sure I get everything flowing. It improves blood flow, lymphatic flow, just on and on. It's a very unique device.
So let's talk about lymphatic flow. How does it help? Lymphatic drainage, is that correct?
Yeah, lymphatic drainage and flow. So lymph, you have a cardiovascular system that, blood is pumped around the body by the heart. Lymphatic fluid is moved around the body by muscular contraction. There's no direct pump for it, but lymph fluid is very, very important. It does a whole bunch of things, but it improves or balances, controls overall body fluid balance. In other words, how does when you have a disturbance in lymphatic flow from an insect bite or from sitting on your leg or what have you, the leg might swell up or it might shrink. How is that normalized again? By the lymphatic system. Lymphatic fluid is going to, let's say there was an immunologic attack someplace in your body. The lymphocytes and other white blood cells are brought to that battle by the lymphatic fluid. Behind the scenes, I love history, I love Civil War history, and I've never been in a battle, but from reading about all these battles, I know that following a battle, the battlefield is just littered with debris. Corpses, busted up trees, busted up guns, just everything under the sun that happened during that battle. It's littered all over the battlefield. When there's an immunologic struggle in the body, the same thing happens. The bacteria, the lymphocytes actually give their lives. They die. So there are, across the battlefield, there are dead bacteria and viruses. There are we'll call it cellular debris, but it's really dead, immunologic cells that gave their life, so to speak, helping overcome that infection. So the lymph is able to clean this up. It's the way out of that, the lymph takes it away. It takes toxins away from the cells, back to the liver or out of the body completely. Just really, really good, just side benefit.
Now, I know when I step off of it, we get on it for 10 minutes at least. And I know the last 8 to 10 minutes, I am feeling invigorated. I feel like there's I know that there has been circulation improvement.
Yeah, it improves blood circulation for sure. Movement is really, it's kind of like I said, I walk around all day in my clinic, but still I start the day with this 10 minutes of concentrated movement. I've never liked jogging personally, but when I was about 17, my parents bought me a 1971 Chevy Impala, and I wasn't able to drive yet, so I guess I wasn't even 17. Probably I was 16. But we wound up storing it a few blocks away. We rented a garage at a couple's house that had a little extra space in their garage, and I would go out there at my father's instruction about every 7 to 10 days just to start the car and let it warm up to normal operating temperature. And my dad explained to me, and it was kind of like wisdom beyond just mechanical things, but he basically said, it's meant, it's a machine. It's meant to move. It's meant to be used. He said, you could throw a tarp over the car and leave it in our side yard there for the next 6 to 12 months, but it probably wouldn't even start when you went to start it, when you were finally licensed. So we'll go out, drive around in this car. You're going to be a permitted driver soon. But in between all that, you need to go there and start the car and let it run. So it's true. If it's true of mechanical things, it's definitely true of the human body. We're meant to move. In chiropractic, we have sayings like movement is life, or motion is lotion. You're meant to move. So the whole body vibration is just like a super concentrated way to get things going, get things warmed up. Very, very similar to how you'd walk on a treadmill for 5 or 10 minutes. No matter what you were going to the gym to do, you kind of want to warm up a little and get things flowing, get fluids flowing. And it certainly does that. Blood, lymph, does a bunch of things.
Now, I know in our clinic, and Dr. Leo will talk more about it, but in our clinic, bone density is incredibly important. And for those of us that aren't 25 anymore, we need to really protect our bone density because our body is losing bone density as we age. Is that correct?
Yeah,
so,
you lose as you age. You lose strength. You lose all kinds of things.
So how does whole body help with that? Whole body vibration.
Bone density, there are 2 types of cells in the body that are directly involved in bone density. One of them called the osteoclasts, that's with a C, C-L-A-S-T-S. Osteoclasts, they break down abnormal bone and resorb it and carry it away. And then there's another type of cell called an osteoblast, B-L-A-S-T-S. So osteoblasts lay down new bone matrix. And it's been absolutely shown scientifically through repeated, research that vibration stimulates osteoblastic activity, meaning bone density or the laying down of new bone. And loss of bone density is the enemy of every person. I think we probably reach peak bone density, like perhaps ladies reach it around age 19 and men reach it around age 20, 21, right around when we reach skeletal maturity. And ladies are at a special disadvantage. We're all at a disadvantage from losing bone density, but ladies generally start with less. So both men and women lose bone density over time. But since ladies started with less, they're at more risk for things like osteopenia. So you have normal bone density and then osteopenia, which is something less than normal. Bones are thinning. And then if you continue to not take care of that or not change that dynamic, you wind up with osteoporosis, which is where the bones are literally just crumbling. And that is bad. That is not consistent with life.
So with this whole body vibration, we've got it linked below. You can get a whole body vibration plate. It's also going to help with balance, which Dr. Leo can address as well. But just to kind of wrap this video up with you, the whole body vibration, you can spend anywhere from, I think like a good one, like 75 to maybe 150 at the highest. But if you do have any balance issues, then we are going to recommend that you put that plate in between like a corner where you can hold on until you get your balance going. But listen, this is one of those things that you literally can do 10 minutes a day. I actually stand on mine while I'm watching a podcast and I'm doing my upper body weight. So it really is something so very easy that you can put into your daily routine, and it's not going to take any extra time because you're standing for 10 minutes. Circulation, lymphatic drainage, we've talked about bone density. All of these are incredibly important. Now, on a different scale, as far as movement, especially as we age, flexibility is so important.
Huge thing for people as they age. They get stiff. They get less flexible. It's been a while, but Sheila's been in the office when it has happened. Sometimes a person will come in just screaming in pain. Just, like you think to yourself, maybe they should have gone to the ER. But we can sometimes, in our clinic, we'll just have them stand on the vibration platform just before I even start to examine them, because it puts some flexibility at the joint level, where you can't, they're just standing there and, but at the joint level, it's putting little micro vibrations into a joint that's probably locked, jammed, swollen, stuck. So flexibility, I can't say enough about that. You need to stay flexible. You need to have flexibility not only in muscles, most people are aware of that, but also joints, right? Joints need to be able to move, right? Muscles move bones, but joints are how we stay upright. They allow for locomotion. They allow for movement. So if joints aren't moving, big problem.
Okay.
So flexibility is very good. Proprioception and balance. Just proprioception is just a fancy way to say, where am I in space and time? If someone has vertigo or something like that, they have a proprioceptive problem, at least in that moment, either caused by their inner ear or whatever it's being caused by. But whole body vibration improves balance, flexibility, and proprioception. It causes joint receptors in the spine to fire, and they fire and they talk to the cerebellum, and it's just like it improves it. It like wakes up a neural pathway that prior to whole body vibration was not working as well as it could have. That's the best way to put it without getting too wordy. So improved proprioception and balance, improved flexibility, muscular contraction, caloric burning, lymphatic flow, improved blood flow. And believe it or not, there are other things, but how much do you want to hear in one little video?
And if you've got any questions or comments, you can actually leave it in this video, but please make sure that you scroll down into the notes, and we have put on there at least 2. We might even put 3 on there. We like Merrick. It's M-E-R-A-C-H. We kind of differ on how we pronounce it, but it might be Maroc. But we do have at least 2 down there that we recommend. It's not crazy money. You don't have to, listen, don't spend a lot of money on this. Like you do not need to buy one that's $200 plus. You just don't need it. Not for your home use. Most of the ones that we're going to recommend, they're all going to be remote control, so you don't have to bend over to turn it on. But listen, it's been so good to visit with you. If you've got any questions or concerns about whole body vibration, anything that we can answer and not have you in our clinic, be able to actually meet you and do an exam, please leave your comments or questions for us, and we'll answer them the best that we can. Glad that you tuned in today. We wish you the very best and blessings to you and your family.